بَعْضُكُمْ بَعْضًا. You are Muslim brothers. Do not fight. But once he finished the salah, he said, this man is kafir, this man is mushrik, this man is Yahudi, this man is such and such. What does it tell you? The guy is shallow-minded. The guy only, his limit only to the articulation of the Quran. This is how is our intake. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, when you recite Quran, have a meditation. Meaning, think about it. Ponder. See what does it tell you? What is speaking with you? أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ لَوَجَدُوا فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. This is the words of Allah. Allah is talking to you. Pay attention to the words that is coming out and then understand what it says. What is tadabbur? Tadabbur in Arabic means that you take conclusion, that you listen to something and then you summarize it. You take a conclusion from that thing. When you hear the Quran and Quran say a command, the understanding of Quran is that you do it, you practice it on yourself. You follow what the Quran has said. They say one bandit, there used to be a bandit. His name was Al-Fudayl ibn Ayad. This man was a bandit. Would wait for the caravans as they come by his village. He and his gangs will attack the caravans, steal their money, steal their belongings, and leave them. A gangster in today's world. A gangster who would attack anyone, would harass anyone. One day, they say that he saw a beautiful young lady. He chased her until found her home. At night, in the middle of night, he climbed the walls to go after her. All of a sudden, he hears this ayah. أَلَمْ يَأْنِ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَن تَخْشَعَ قُلُوبُهُمْ لِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. The ayah says, isn't it the time for the believers to listen to the words of Allah and become frightened? He was about to pass and come down in her house. At that time, he stopped. He thought for a few minutes. What is this ayah? He repeated with himself a couple times. He came back again. Straight he went to the masjid. He did i'tikaf, become a resident of the masjid until he passed away. A single ayah has transformed such a man. This is called meditation, tadabbur fil Quran. Now, if this criminal, this bandit, this gangster could have been affected by a single ayah, what about the whole Quran? The entire Quran. We have 6,600 ayahs. Within that Quran affects our soul. But how come we do not see it? Where is the problem? You see, brothers and sisters, tadabbur, meditation, thinking, it's a preliminary stage. It's a stage for something bigger. What is that stage? What is the bigger stage? Is that we act upon Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, listen to Quran, understand Quran for what? Only for the sake of understanding? No. He doesn't want you only to understand Quran. He wants you to understand Quran and act upon Quran. That's the beautiful meaning of meditation. That's the bottom line message, that you act upon Quran. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam tells his sons at the last day of his life, he says, Allah Allah fil Quran, la yasbiqkum bil amali bihi ghayrukum. He said, be careful about Quran, but he does not say recite it. There are so many people who recite Quran, but he say, do it. Don't let other people to commit themselves and adopt Quran as their constitution, and then they will be victorious over you. That's the meaning of Quran. Today, just today, look at the world and see how many nations adopt Quran. You see the non-Muslim nations adopt the Quranic principle more than the Muslim nations. That's why they have succeeded. Without being a Muslim, The Quran is a constitution, is a blessing for everyone. It is guidance for the entire humanity. Anyone who takes benefit from that, he will be victorious. If you are a Muslim nation and adapt Quran, you will be victorious. But if someone else, some other nation, adopt Quran and follow the principle of Quran, then they become victorious. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةً. You are brothers. How many hostilities we have in the Muslim world? You see this nation is fighting this nation. Those group of people fighting those group of people. This faith is killing the other faith. Well, look at the European nations. Just 50, 60 years ago, they had the bloodiest war in the entire history. The World War II. Do you know how many victims they had? More than 58 million people have been killed in the Second World War. That is start when 1945. But nowadays, do you see how close they are? Why? Because they have used the principle of Quran. They tell for how many years they need to fight. That's why they became victorious. But Muslims, they left the limit only to recitation. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do tadabbur, do meditation, think about Quran. When the ayah says, لَن تَنَالُوا الْبِرَّ حَتَّى تُنْفِقُوا مِمَّا تُحِبُّونَ. You will not get the reward, the true reward, unless you spend from what you love. Just look at the donations that we give. Either to the masjid, to the Islamic center, or to the poor, to the orphans. We will see the t-shirt, that t-shirt that got 25 holes in it, we give it to the orphans. There's something that is so rotten and bad and leftover, we give it to the poor. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, take it. Do you want to get the result? Give what you love. That's what you get. Abu Dharr al-Ghifari, one of the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, sallu alayhi bi'ala aswatikum. Allahumma salli ala. When he heard this ayah, he had a guest in his home. Told his guest, I am going to the masjid, but I have many camels in the farm. Grab the best camel and take it with you since you are leaving. Find the best camel and take it with you. The guest went and found the smallest one, the tiny one, the weakest one, and brought it with him. And he said, I am taking this one. Abu Dharr told him, didn't I tell you to take the best one? He said, no, I was afraid that one day you might need it. You never know what happens in this world. Remember, the Iranians have this beautiful proverb, say, for Ruza Mabada, you keep something sitting on the shelf for 25 years, you tell him, why do you keep it? Say, for Ruza Mabada, never know what happens. So he told him that you keep this one for Ruza Mabada, you never know what will happen. Abu Dharr told him, do you know what is my Ruza Mabada? My first day in the grave. When they put me in first night in my grave, that is my Ruza Mabada. I want you to take the best one for that day. For that night. When they put me in my grave, I need a reward. Otherwise, what's the point of this world? Eventually, everyone will die. One day, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi has butchered a sheep and gave everything except the leg. Left it for he and his wife, Aisha. Aisha said, nothing has left for us except the leg. Rasulullah told us, no, everything has stayed except the leg. What we have paid, this will stay. But what you eat is gone. But the problem, we don't pay attention. So here, the Quran is telling us all, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنِ. Do not you ponder on Quran, to meditate, to understand. Some of the even religious ones tell you you're not supposed to do meditation because that is tafsir. If you do tafsir, and this is by your own, you come up with certain understanding of Quran, this is haram. You're not supposed to do it. Leave the Quran. Eventually, it has such a high